Hi, I'm Marion Abbott, and today I want to teach you how to prepare your music for your audition. I have played auditions for over 30 years now, and what surprised me was I did a set of auditions fairly recently. I was shocked by how many of the same mistakes people were making in terms of preparing their music for the audition pianist. So I decided I was going to make this video because the goal is for you to prepare your music in such a way that the accompanist can focus on doing their very best playing for you. The goal is to prepare your music in such a way that the accompanist can focus on doing their very best playing for you. So here we go. So first of all, industry standard is print your music and put it in a binder. I've had people come to me with these beautiful professional looking folders. It's very sleek, it's very plain, and then their music is just tucked inside it. Now, the reality is most pianos have a very, very narrow stand for the music. Usually, if it's an acoustic piano, it's made out of wood, and the wood usually has some sort of shellacking thing on it, which makes it slippery, which means the music is going to fall. Or it's the one that comes with a keyboard and it's really narrow and it falls to the floor. You must put your music in a binder. Oh, but Marion, I could just tape it together. Oh my gosh, please don't tape your music together. Oh my word, I could tell you so many stories. So you show up and it's a really hot day, and so somebody on the panel brought a fan, and the fan sends your taped together sheet of music to the floor. Or I have had people give me their taped together sheet music, but it's so long that as I'm playing and I'm pulling it to the side so I can see the music in front of me, when I get to the end, there's so much on the left-hand side now that it falls to the floor. Put your music in a binder. I know there's been some talk about devices now. I'm addicted to my iPad. Those of you you use my channel, you know that I use my iPad for everything. But for auditions, devices are so personal, which is awesome, but in the audition room, it takes up extra time. It takes up extra time for you to adjust the brightness for the accompanist, or put your thumbprint on so it opens up, or your password, all of those things. So industry standard is still put your music in a binder. You want to get a 1-inch binder. These are 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters. I bought these at our local dollar store. I don't know what that translates to in different parts of the world. Don't get bigger, because what happens is when the pianist goes to turn the page, unless that binder is full of pages already, the pages are going to get stuck on the top of the rings, and so it's not going to lie flat for them. And same goes if it's really weeny. If it's smaller than 1 inch, there's not enough room in there, so again, the pages are going to get jammed up at the bottom and start to flip backward on your pianist, and then they can't focus on playing their very best for you. You're going to print your music. Here we go. I've printed I Can't Say No from Oklahoma. Love this song. And the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that my pages are laid out in such a way that there is always 2 pages for your accompanist to look at. Why? Because accompanying, especially in auditions and in high stress situations, accompanying is like driving. If you've taken driving lessons and they told you to scan, right? You don't just look at the road in front of you and like pray that nothing happens to you. You're always looking. You're always sort of looking in your rearview mirror, your side mirrors, what's ahead, and just have a general sense of what's going on. Accompanying is the same. As I'm playing what's in front of me, I'm looking at what comes next, so that I can anticipate. I can anticipate moving my hands where they need to be, or I can anticipate turning that page. So you want to have 2 sheets of paper. I'm gonna show you how to do that. Now, if you print double-sided, then you're good. Print your music, hole punch it, which I'll talk about in just a minute, and you're good to go. However, don't print your music double-sided, hole punch it, throw it in the binder, and then hand it to the accompanist. You must ruffle the pages through. Reason being, often on printers, or if you use a photocopier, no one photocopies music, Marion. I know, but in a pretend world where that might happen, static electricity often glues the pages together. So I've actually had that happen to me multiple times when I'm accompanying somebody and it's stuck because of the static electricity. And so it turns like 4 pages instead of 1. Print double-sided. And all you have to do is hole punch and put in your binder. That's fine, but I would ruffle through the pages first just to make sure the static electricity is gone and that they are turning 1 page at a time. And I'm gonna look at Castle on the Cloud. Okay, so I got my copy of Castle on the Cloud. First thing I'm gonna do, here's the first page, there's the second page. So that's what I want my accompanist to see. So I'm gonna flip that second page so it's facing the first page. I've only got 1 more page. I'm gonna put it on the back of that second page. So now, when we turn it over, our accompanist sees 2 pages, and then they see 1 page, just like reading a book. And then before I hole punch it, I'm gonna tape these corners together because you don't want the accompanist to see 2 pages, turn the page, and see blank. You do not want that. So you're going to tape the corners together. I love this brand. I don't know what a comparable brand is where you live, but this, you want it to be matte because tape that has more of like a shiny surface. The pages, when you get multiple pages taped, they can kind of get stuck together. So there we go. So they see the first page, the second page, then they turn. And then there's the third page, and then I'm just going to hole punch it with my fancy hole punch. Okay, I'm gonna do the same with On My Own. So here's On My Own. I know I was on a lamest kick. No judgment. It's probably my first obsessively fandom musical I encountered. Okay, so On My Own, first page, second page. That's gonna face that one. I'm gonna move this next page over. Now they see 2 pages. Gonna turn that, woo! I got an upside down page, so I'm gonna fix that. That's actually happened to me as an accompanist. I've turned a page and the page was inside upside down. Yep, that's nice. So let's go back over it just in case. First page, second page. Then I'm gonna tape these corners. And turn. Now my accompanist sees 2 pages. I've got more corners to tape. And voila, On My Own is ready to be hole punched as well. Now, I know what you're thinking. Marion, why can't I use a stapler? I'll tell you why you can't use a stapler. One time I was playing for somebody and they had stapled the corners of their music together and I'm playing away and I go to turn a page and I was like, why are there red droplets on the keys of the piano? Oh, because the staple stuck me and I was literally bleeding on the keys. Don't use staples. Don't do it. You could use glue, but what I like about tape is that it's something extra tactile for me as the accompanist to grab and turn that page faster. Okay, so now that you've laid out your music correctly and taped the edges, you want to hole punch. Now I have this heavy duty, awesome, amazing, I don't know, hole punch a billion sheets at a time. It's always aligned, I never have to worry, but it is a little bit pricey and it is clunky to store. So I understand if that's not your life and you don't want to do that. So I'm going to show you a little cheaper, easier method. So what you can do is buy one of these guys. And then it's really easy to store too. You can just tuck it in your pencil case. Get yourself a lined piece of paper. This is my copy of On My Own that I had done. I'm going to line up the lined piece of paper with the music. I'm gonna take my easy to store, only cost me a little bit of money at the dollar store, hole punch, and I'm hole punching where the holes are. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You don't have to sing as you punch the holes, but you know, I like to do that. And there we go. And then it's ready to go in the binder. Don't be one of those people that goes and uses a communal 3-hole punch and somebody has mucked around with the settings. And so now you've got like 2 holes way at the top and then the other holes down here. So it doesn't go in your binder properly. So then you go, oh, it's fine. And you try to push the paper over one of the rings in the binder and now it's torn. Let me tell you how that works out. Not well. The goal is for the accompanist to focus on doing their very best playing for you. They can't do that when your music is torn. Can't do that. It's just not a thing. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is marking important stuff. So I'm going to start with repeats and how to deal with repeats. In the olden times, my eyes were amazing. And if I was playing for somebody and I knew there was a repeat, my eyes and my younger brain would be like, no problem. And when I would get to the end of that first section, I would like turn back with confidence. I can't do that anymore because my eyes are getting old. And B, audition accompanying is hard to do. And it takes a lot of energy and a lot of focus. And so you don't want to be auditioner number 17 that day or 76 that day and trust that the accompanist's eyesight is like, yeah, no problem, I'll find that repeat for you. No, they won't. It doesn't matter how kind and well-meaning they are. They're just not going to be able to do it. So I would highlight your repeats. And I know there are some people out there going, I don't know about highlighting, and I'll speak to you in a second. So I'm going to look at my Castle on the Cloud music. Okay, so here we are. I've got this repeat right at the very beginning. So I'm going to highlight it, just with a simple line. Then it goes all the way here, not in my Castle on the Cloud. There's the first ending. I'm gonna highlight that one so that they know what's going on. And then I'm gonna highlight that repeat so they know to go back. And then I'm gonna go and highlight that two. Now this is a very, very straightforward repeat because in the rest of the piece there is no other repeat. So that's a really easy one. And this piece is short, so this is not like, oh, I better cut the repeat for my audition because I don't want it to be too long. That was a really easy repeat, but what happens if you have an almost whole song repeat? A song that comes to mind is Watch What Happens from Newsies. You sing 6 pages, I think, and then it goes right back to the beginning and does at least 5 of those 6 pages again. So what I would do in that scenario is do a double copy of your music and then lay it out so the accompanist does not have to turn backward. Because again, you want the accompanist focused solely on playing their very best for you. And they can't do that if they're madly turning back 7, 8, 2, 4 pages. Okay, so this is an example of a long repeat that you do not want your accompanist to have to flip backward in their pages. I would say the maximum number of pages you can expect an audition accompanist or even someone who's accompanying you at a festival, be kind. Don't make them turn back more than 2 pages, okay? So here's Marry Me Little. This is very similar to Watch What Happens, where you sing through the whole song and go through the whole thing again. And this is from music by a very talented young man named Olivier. Shout out to Olivier. Okay, so here we go. Marry Me Little. I've already prepped it and taped the corners. So we're going along. I'm ready now. It's a beautiful piece. If you've not sung it, check it out. It's from Company. It's by Sondheim. Okay, so now we're at the end. It's page 7. There's no way you want your accompanist to turn back 6 pages. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight this first ending so they have an understanding of what's going on. But then I'm going to carefully cross out. I'm going to say carefully. I am going to do it carefully, but I'm going to do it clearly. So they see that and go, oh, I'm not supposed to play there. Not some random bracket. I've seen this a lot in music. That means nothing to me. And in a split second of time, I don't have time to figure that out. So I see this and I go, whoa, I'm not supposed to play there. Then I'm going to go over here. This is where it actually repeats back to. So I'm going to cross out this first line very, very clearly. You might want to, you don't have to, but to make it even clearer, you could be like, start here with your highlighter. Cool? So then you're going to go along all the way through the song again. And this time, here's your first ending. It's only a bar. Again, I'm going to cross that out so it's very, very clear that after this accompanist plays this bar, they go over here to ending 2. I might even do that. I don't know. You can discuss that with your teacher or whoever you work with, but you want it to be clear that they're skipping over this bar and jumping to the second ending. So for the purist, clutching your pearls about the highlighter. Here's the deal. When I went to performance school, which was a long time ago now, I was taught to highlight everything. Highlight all dynamic markings, highlight the repeats, highlight DSL code, all of that stuff, highlight everything. And then there was this consternation, oh, it's too much, it's too colorful, it's too distracting, which I sort of get. But then we moved into this weird era of the vague bracket, I'm going to call it. So I've played auditions where there's literally like just a line with a little line, and it looks like a bracket, but I never know what the heck it's supposed to be saying to me. Does this mean the piece is over? Does this mean this is a cut? Does this mean, and the most recent set of auditions I played, that came up again, and I had to ask the singer, I'm sorry, like, what does this mean? And then I had to write it in myself, which again, that's wasting time. You don't have time in the audition room to waste. So I would highlight the stuff that matters most to you. So if there's a sudden stop, if there's a sudden dynamic change, if there's a rest that you're gonna hold, extra long, et cetera, highlight that stuff. Do not assume that your accompanist went to the meeting where everyone decided we're all going to just use this sexy bracket that is vague and sleek, but doesn't tell anybody anything at all. So that's it. Get your music in a binder, hole punch it properly, tape the edges, don't staple, and highlight the things that matter most. And if you've got repeats, if it's a simple repeat, highlight it. And if it's a big repeat of 2 pages or more, double print your music or double copy your music, and you know what to do. If you like this video, can you share it with people that would benefit from it? I would appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and click like on the video so it gets shown to more people, because I would really love audition pianists to have an easier time. Don't be that horror story that we share. Don't be the horror story that I shared with you today about the staples. Don't be that singer. Be the singer that comes in with your music super prepared, so the audition pianist is like, yeah, I'm gonna nail this for the singer, and they're gonna do so well. That's who you wanna be, yeah? Okay, until next time.